Hi everyone, this is Sharon. I just want to start out by saying welcome to everyone, especially all of my new subscribers that have hopped over here from Rachel at Roxy Creations channel. I really appreciate you checking me out and seeing what I have out there for videos. Also, welcome to my longtime subscribers. I appreciate you all very much. So today, this is by subscriber request. I'm going to do a little playing around with embossing velvet. So in one of my recent journals, it was the landscape one I did for the Graphics Fairy, I had a bookmark in there. It was a velvet bookmark, and I had embossed it with some rubber stamps. So I am going to show you how I did that. It's a lot of fun and a pretty simple technique. As you can tell, most of my techniques are pretty simple. I don't like complicated, so that's what you'll be seeing on my channel. So for this one, you need some rubber stamps. So I am using this one, and I use the rubber stamps on the wood blocks. Someone asked me, how do you keep your stamp from not melting, because you do use a hot iron on this. I don't know. Apparently the rubber in these stamps is very heat resistant. Now, if you really love your rubber stamps and you don't want to take a chance, don't. If you have some old ones laying around that you want to work with, go ahead and try it. So I've got these. I definitely wouldn't use cling stamps because those maybe would melt. I don't know. So I've got this one as well. This is a large block stamp. So I'm going to be doing this one on this larger piece of velvet. And then I thought this pretty rose-colored velvet ribbon would make a nice bookmark. So I'm going to be stamping this multiple times on this one. And I just did a little demo of this before I turned on the camera to see how it would look. And this is how that stamp turns out. Isn't that pretty? So let's get started. What I'm going to do, I think, is do this multiple times. Now, what you do is you set your stamp on your surface, and then you put your velvet front side or top side down against the rubber. Then you take your iron and you iron over the top of it. Now, I just have this little craft iron. I've got my heat set between medium and high, I would say. It's not on max, but it's a little bit lower than that. And I'm going to tell you, I first saw this technique by good old Martha Stewart a number of years ago. And in her demo, she suggested spritzing with water first on the back side of this. I've done that, both spritzing with water and not. And I've started not spritzing it with water just because I found that the imprint comes out much better on a drier piece of fabric. So I am not going to be wetting mine today. So I just get this kind of positioned where I want it, and down you go. And I just leave it there, and I do kind of a quick 1 to 10 count, leaving it on there, and then lift it off. And if I see an imprint, I think that's good. I might just go a little bit again. On this side, looked a little light. And it's always a surprise. So we'll peel that off. Pretty, right? Okay, now I have to, might be a little tricky trying to get the second one lined up. I'm just going to try to get that fairly straight. And count to 10. I'm always afraid I'm going to melt my rubber, but it doesn't. Okay. Second one. I'm going to come down. And I think you do have to experiment with different types of velvet as well. I've mostly done like silk velvets and cotton velvets, and I think those do work better than, say, a synthetic, like a polyester velvet. But, you know, I should have checked that out ahead of time, but I'm not sure. You just have to kind of experiment with what you have. All right, we're getting there. One more, I think, will do it. And I don't know, iron directly on the rubber, how that might work out. So I'm going to try to avoid that and just go over the top of this ribbon. This one might be a little bit wonky. Just trying to get that straight on there. Okay. So, I mean, not totally symmetrical, but it looks very handmade. I like the way that turned out. I think that'll make a nice little bookmark I can stick in a journal. Okay, and then the other one I thought I'd try is an actual piece of velvet fabric. This I got from Sally at Rainy Day Gypsies. She had some really pretty velvet and ribbon packages that I got a while back. So this is a block. It's about 3.5 by 5.5 or 5, I think. So I am just going to flip this over. And then we'll try to emboss this entire piece of fabric. Not the most exciting video, but the reveal is worth it, right? And I'm always, sometimes I go over it twice just to make sure, because once you lift it up, you know, you can't really go back and do it again. It would be really hard to get it lined up. I'm not seeing much of an imprint through this one, so I might just try going over it again. Okay, so the big reveal, let us see. Okay, that one's a little light, but you can see it. I think that's pretty. It just has a real subtle effect. And how I might use this piece, I would maybe use it as a fabric flip in a journal. You could stitch it onto a piece of cardstock and use it as a pocket. That would give it more stability, or cut it up and use it as tabs, anything like that. But I think that's really pretty. So that is my demo on the velvet ribbon embossing. Give it a try. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, and until next time, bye-bye.